Alright fellas, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a pocket full of change and thought, there's gotta be something in here worth more than a stick of gum? Well, guess what? You might have walked around with over $1 million in your pocket and didn't even know it. Yeah, I said $1 million. Today we're talking about the 1976 Lincoln penny. One little copper coin that could be worth a staggering $1.3 million in today's market. That's right. $1.3 million. For a penny. Kinda makes you want to go dig through the couch cushions right now. How about hold on to your magnifying glass, because we're going to break down why this coin is so rare, what makes it valuable, and how you could spot one yourself. And yeah, I'll throw in a little personal story about how I almost tossed a rare coin in a vending machine. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And thank goodness for that, so grab your coffee or crack open a cold one, and let's dive into the wild world of coin hunting. This ain't your grandma's stamp collection, boys. We're talking serious money. Let's set the stage. It's 1976. America's celebrating its bicentennial. People are rocking bell-bottoms, disco balls are spinning, and the Denver Mint is pumping out Lincoln pennies like hotcakes. Over 4 billion were made that year with the little D mint mark under the date. So you might be thinking, how the heck is one of those worth more than a Lamborghini? Not all pennies are created equal. Most of those 4 billion pennies were perfectly normal. But then there's the rare few, those weird misfits that had something go sideways during production. The kind of errors that make collectors go absolutely bonkers. The $1 million 1976 Lincoln penny we're talking about? It's one of those ultra-rare mint errors. And it's not just any error, either. This bad boy has a rare double die obverse. That means the front of the coin, the side with Abe Lincoln's iconic mug, was struck twice by the die, but slightly off. You'll notice the doubling especially in the word Liberty and the date. It's like Lincoln got a little tipsy at the mint party. Now here's where things get even juicier. Not only does this penny have the doubling, but it also has a super clean, uncirculated condition. We're talking mint state, almost like it just rolled off the press and took a time machine to today. That combo of rare error and pristine condition? That's what makes it worth over $1 million to serious collectors. And let's be honest, it makes the rest of our piggy banks feel a little underwhelming. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the one with old batteries, rubber bands, and about 50 cents in loose change. I found a shiny little 1976 penny. It looked too clean to be normal. I almost used it to buy a candy bar at the gas station, but something told me to hang on to it. I went online, did a little research, and realized I might have struck copper gold. Sent it in for grading, heart racing like I was on an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Turned out, it wasn't the one. But it was still worth a couple $100. Not bad for a penny I almost fed to a vending machine, and that's what I love about coin collecting. It's like treasure hunting for grown men. You're not just hoarding old change, you're solving mysteries, finding history, and maybe, just maybe, cashing in big time. Every coin has a story, and the 1976 penny? That story could end in 7 figures. So what should you look for if you want to find one of these $1 million beauties? First, check the date, 1976 with the D mint mark just below it. Then take a closer look at the word Liberty and the date numbers. If they look a little blurry or doubled, don't squint, celebrate. That could be the double die we're talking about. If the coin is in great shape with no major scratches or dings, you're on the right track. And if it looks too good to be true, send it in to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They're the folks who put the official stamp on coin values. And just check your spare change. Ask your family. Check that old coin jar in the garage. Raid Grandpa's cigar box. You never know where these hidden treasures might be hiding. Now let's be real. Not every 1976 penny is going to make you rich. But the hunt? The possibility? That's what makes it fun. It's the thrill of knowing that something so small could be worth so much. And hey, Even if you don't find the $1 million penny, you'll learn something cool, and maybe even make a few bucks along the way. So here's the deal. If you love coins, history, and maybe turning pocket change into dream vacations, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. I've got more tips, more rare coin stories, and more strategies to help you turn everyday coins into cold, hard cash. Don't let another valuable coin slip through your fingers. Stay sharp, stay curious, and happy hunting. And remember, next time you see a penny, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. It might just change your life. Hey there, coin hunters and couch collectors. You ever hear someone say a penny for your thoughts? Well, I hope your thoughts are expensive, because today we're talking about a penny that's worth more than most people's houses. That's right, a 2006 Lincoln penny that sold for a mind-blowing $1.4 million. Yep. You heard that right. A penny. 1 cent worth over $1 million. And no, I haven't been sniffing glue or hanging out with the Monopoly man. Now, before you flip over your couch cushions and dig through every cup holder in your car, stick with me. I'm going to walk you through exactly what makes this little copper beauty so special, what to look for, how it got so dang valuable, and I'll even share a little story about a time I almost spent a rare penny on a gas station hot dog. True story. You don't want to miss that. So grab your magnifying glass, maybe a snack, and get ready to dive deep into a coin that might just be hiding in plain sight. We're talking Denver Mint here. That's what the D stands for. Looks pretty normal to the naked eye. You've probably seen dozens just like it. Good old Abe Lincoln, looking sharp in profile, the memorial on the back, nothing fancy, right? But there's something very fancy going on with this one. It's a rare minting error combined with incredibly high-grade preservation. The actual penny in question that brought in the big bucks had a perfect strike, near flawless surfaces, and an incredibly rare misalignment in the die that created a doubled image on Abe's face. It's like Lincoln had a ghost twin. Some folks call these double dies, and collectors go nuts for them. It's like finding a Picasso where the eyes are in the right place and the ears are behind the knees. Weird, rare, and valuable. The condition of this coin was off the charts. We're talking mint state 69 red. That's nearly perfect. For context, most pennies come out of your pocket looking like they've been used to scrape gum off sidewalks. This one looked like it had never been touched by human hands. It's the kind of coin you'd expect to see in a museum with lasers around it, not in someone's change jar. Crazy rare. Like, go buy a lottery ticket if you find one, kind of rare. The odds of finding a 2006 D penny in this condition with that kind of error are almost microscopic. But you know what? It's not impossible. That's what keeps coin collectors awake at night. That dream that one day you'll crack open an old jar of change and bam, you're holding $1 million mistake. A few years ago, I stopped at a gas station on a road trip, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I was half asleep, running on caffeine and beef jerky, and I needed a snack. I grabbed a hot dog and went to pay with some change I had in the glove box. Handed the guy a few coins, got my hot dog, walked out. Later that day, I was scrolling through a coin forum. Yeah, I'm that guy, and I saw a post about a 2006 D double die Lincoln penny. The picture looked exactly like one I'd handed the gas station guy that morning. I nearly swerved off the highway. I can't say for sure it was the same penny, but let me tell you, I now triple-check every coin before I spend it. And I haven't bought a gas station hot dog since. That's the kind of mistake that haunts you, my friend. The penny that sold at auction went for $1.4 million. That's enough to buy a decent house in the suburbs, a fancy sports car, or like 700,000 hot dogs, depending on your priorities. The market for error coins is hot right now. Collectors are always on the hunt for these little mistakes that slip through the cracks. The 2006 D Lincoln penny is just one of many coins out there that look ordinary but are secretly worth a fortune. So if you've got a jar of change somewhere, and I know you do, it's time to start looking through it. Grab a magnifier, pull out your brightest lamp, and go to town. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, extra thickness in the lettering, weird shadows, or anything that looks slightly off. And don't toss out coins that look too clean, those high-grade coins are the unicorns of the collecting world. By the way, a quick tip, if you think you found something special, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean the coin. You might think you're helping, but in the world of coin collecting, cleaning a rare coin is like putting ketchup on a steak. It just ruins it. Leave it as is and get it graded professionally. So there you have it, folks. A 2006 penny that turned into a millionaire's ticket. It's not just spare change anymore, it's a treasure hunt, and the treasure might be sitting in your junk drawer right now. Keep your eyes peeled for those errors, look out for that mint mark, and remember that sometimes, it's the tiniest things that hold the biggest value. And hey, if I saved you from spending your retirement fund on a gas station hot dog, I think we've both done some good here today. If you enjoyed this little coin adventure and you want more tips on spotting valuable coins, collecting strategies, and stories from the world of numismatics, hit that subscribe button like you're striking gold. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or made a coin collecting mistake you still think about in the shower. Thanks for watching, keep hunting, and may your pocket change always be worth more than you expect. Alright fellas, I gotta ask you something straight off the bat. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not just tossed it in a jar or used it to scratch off a lotto ticket, I mean really looked at it. Because if you've been ignoring your spare change, you might have walked right past a tiny copper treasure worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1.5 million. For a penny. Not gold. Not silver. Just your average, brownish-red little Lincoln. Well, not so average, actually. Now before you go flipping over your couch cushions or shaking the vending machine down at work, let me tell you the whole story about the 2007 Lincoln penny that's been making collectors and even casual coin hunters lose their minds. Stick with me because I'm gonna break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and why you just might have a piece of coin history sitting in a dusty piggy bank somewhere. And I'll even throw in a personal story about how I almost threw away a small fortune. You do not want to miss this one. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 2007 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the little d under the year. Now, millions of these were made. We're not talking about some rare one-of-5 kind of deal here. Which makes it even crazier that one of these everyday coins somehow became a millionaire. Well, this particular coin isn't just valuable because of its date or mint mark. It's what's called an error coin, and collectors go bananas over these things. Picture this, you've got a machine cranking out pennies at lightning speed, and one tiny misstep, a planchet issue, a double die, a strike through, can turn a normal coin into a collectible worth more than your CAR. In the case of this 2007 Lincoln penny, it had a combo of errors that made it a one-of-a-kind showstopper. The strike was off-center, the die was misaligned, and the coin ended up with doubling on Lincoln's face and the date. Add to that a flawless copper luster and basically no wear and tear, and boom, you've got yourself $1.5 million mistake. But coin collectors are just like treasure hunters. They'll pay crazy money for a coin that looks just a little off if it means it's rare. Rarity drives value, my friends. And this penny? Rarer than a steak at a vegan cookout. Now let me tell you a little personal story that still haunts me when I lie awake at night. So, a few years back, I was helping my buddy move. We're in his garage, sorting through old boxes, and we stumble on this old tin labeled Vegas change. Naturally, my eyes light up like a slot machine. I dump it out, and there's this mountain of coins. I start poking through it because, well, I'm a coin guy, it's what I do, and I swear to you, I picked up a 2007 penny that looked odd. The color was different, and the date looked a little funky. But I was in a rush, sweating, moving furniture, so I tossed it in a cup holder and forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I hear about the 2007 penny selling for over $1 million. I sprint to my car like it's the Indy 500. Guess what? My kid had cleaned the car. Threw all the coins in one of those Coinstar machines at the grocery store. Yep. I might have had a $1.5 million penny and let it vanish into a sea of laundry money and snack purchases. That one still stings. Look for off-center strikes. Even a small misalignment can raise the value. Check for doubling on Lincoln's face, the lettering, or the date. Use a magnifying glass or that zoom feature on your phone. See if the coin looks unusually shiny or has a weird finish. A strong copper color with no scratches is gold, or in this case, expensive copper, and hey, don't just stop at one. If you've got a jar full of coins, dump them out, spread them on the table, and start hunting. This is one treasure hunt where the map is in your own house. Don't go cleaning the coin with vinegar or scrubbing it with a toothbrush. That's like putting ketchup on a filet mignon. Just don't. Leave it as is and get it checked by a professional coin dealer or send it off for grading. And if your wife asks what you're doing hunched over a pile of pennies with a flashlight, just tell her you're investing in the future. Technically, it's not a lie, so there you have it, folks. The 2007 Lincoln penny that turned loose change into serious cash. It's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight, in your pocket, your couch cushions, or that old jar labeled pizza fund. Don't let $1 million coin slip through your fingers like I did. Check those coins, look for errors, and you just might strike it rich without ever setting foot in a casino. If you had fun watching this and you want to learn more about coins that are secretly worth a small fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. I've got plenty more tips, stories, and strategies that'll help you turn that coffee can full of change into a coin collector's dream. And hey, leave a comment if you've ever found something valuable in your spare change, or if you've got a heartbreaking story like mine. Misery loves company, right? Alright guys, till next time, keep checking that change, and don't forget, one little penny could change your whole life. Literally. Hey, coin hunters and pocket change warriors. What if I told you there might be a coin sitting in your junk drawer right now that could be worth a life-changing $1.6 million? Yeah, I'm not kidding. That same copper-colored penny you flipped into a wishing fountain last summer might just be worth more than your entire house. Today we're diving into the wild world of the 1995 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And let me tell you, this little fella is no ordinary coin. It's not flashy, it doesn't scream wealth, and it definitely won't make you look rich at first glance. But boy oh boy, if you've got the right one, you might just retire early and spend your days sipping iced tea on a beach somewhere. Now before you go flipping over your couch cushions or raiding grandma's coin jar, stick with me because I'm going to break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and why collectors are willing to dish out a cool $1.6 million to get their hands on it. And to kick things off, let me share a little personal story. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. We were knee-deep in old fishing gear, rusty tools, and some seriously questionable lawn ornaments when I spotted a dusty coffee can full of coins. Naturally, I went full treasure hunter mode. I started sifting through it, mostly just hoping to find a wheat penny or maybe something with silver in it. Well, what I didn't expect was to come across a 1995 penny that looked off. It had a weird double effect on the letters, and I got a gut feeling. Long story short, it turned out to be a double die error. Not the $1 million version, but still worth a few $100. I was hooked. Ever since then, I've been obsessed with coin hunting, and let me tell you, it's way more fun than you'd think. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's unravel the mystery of the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's rocking the coin collecting world. Alright, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. First up, what exactly is the 1995 no-mint mark penny and why is it so special? Most pennies minted in 1995 were made in Philadelphia, which means they don't have a mint mark. That's actually pretty normal. But what's not normal is the error that showed up in a small batch of these coins. I'm talking about the infamous double die error. Imagine the coin die, basically the stamp used to press the image into the metal, shifting just a little bit during the creation process. That shift causes the design to be imprinted twice, creating a doubled look, especially on the date and the lettering. In the case of the 1995 penny, the most obvious place you'll see this is in the word liberty and the phrase "In God we trust." Now here's where it gets wild. Not all 1995 pennies have this doubling. It was only on a limited number of coins. And most of the time, people didn't even notice. They'd use the coin to buy gum, drop it in a tip jar, or let it rattle around in their car console for years. They live for this stuff. A clean, uncirculated 1995 double-die penny in pristine condition is like striking gold. And if it's been graded by a reputable company and scored high, like MS 68 or higher, we're talking big bucks. One particular specimen fetched $1.6 million. That's right. One little penny. Someone actually forked over more than most people spend on a house just to own this coin. Why? Rarity, demand, condition, and that sweet error that makes it one of a kind. Grab a magnifying glass. No, not the kind from a cereal box. A decent one. You're looking for clear doubling in the letters, especially Liberty. The doubling should look like the letters are shadowed or echoed, but not blurry. Step 2, check the condition. If it's been through a washing machine, run over by a bike, or used as a screwdriver, it probably won't hit that $1 million mark. But even beat-up versions can still bring in a few $100s. Step 3, get it graded. Don't just throw it on eBay and hope for the best. If you think you've got something, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it, grade it, and give it a certification that serious buyers will trust. Alright, let's take a quick break from the facts and have a little laugh. Remember that time I thought I found a rare 1995 penny and ran around the house shouting like I just won the lottery? I was jumping on the couch, calling my buddies, already planning a trip to Vegas. Then I looked closer, and it was a Canadian penny. Yeah. Wrong country. Wrong year. Wrong everything. My wife still won't let me live that one down. She bought me a magnifying glass that Christmas with a note that said, "For your $1 million dreams." Beyond the rare double die, there are other things collectors look for: misstrikes, off-center coins, die cracks, and repunched mint marks. But for the 1995 no mint mark penny, it's all about that doubling. You might be wondering, do I need to be some kind of expert to find one? Not at all. That's the beauty of it. Coins like this can slip through the cracks and end up in everyday circulation. You don't need a PhD in numismatics. You just need a good eye, a little patience, and the willingness to dig through your change, and hey, you never know. I've heard stories of people finding valuable coins at flea markets, estate sales, or even stuck between couch cushions. One guy said he found his rare penny in a parking lot. That's like the coin hunting version of winning the lottery without buying a ticket. That the humble 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny might be hiding a massive secret. If it's got that sweet double die error and it's in top-notch condition, it could be worth up to $1.6 million. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing money. You don't have to be a millionaire to start coin collecting, but if you find the right coin, you just might become one. All it takes is a little curiosity and a sharp eye. Go grab that old coin jar, check your piggy bank, or raid the back seat of your car. Take a good look at any 1995 pennies you've got lying around. Who knows, you might just hit the coin jackpot. And hey, if you had fun today or learned something new, don't forget to smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Hit the like, drop a comment if you've ever found a weird-looking coin, and share this video with someone who's always broke. You might just change their life. Hey there, coin lovers. Now, let me hit you with a fun fact. What if I told you that the change sitting in your pocket right now could be worth a small fortune? No, I'm not talking about a random lottery ticket you picked up from the gas station or that odd dollar bill with a mysterious serial number. I'm talking about something as simple as a 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because this humble little coin could be worth up to $1.7 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.7 million. I know, it's hard to believe, but by the end of this video, I'll show you how to spot it, why it's valuable, and how you could make some serious cash if you've got one of these rare pennies hiding in your collection. And hey, if you want more tips like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You never know when your next big find might be just around the corner. Alright, let's take a trip back in time to 1968. The world was buzzing with change. People were protesting, disco was just around the corner, and here in the United States, something strange was happening with our coins. You see, in 1968, the US Mint made a decision that would come to affect the value of certain pennies for decades to come. Now, you might be asking, what makes this penny so special? It all comes down to one thing, the no mint mark. See, most coins from this era had a mint mark, either an D for Denver or a S for San Francisco. But the 1968 pennies that don't have a mint mark? Those are the ones you should be keeping an eye on. These pennies were struck in Philadelphia, and because the mint marks were usually stamped on the reverse side, some of them slipped through the cracks with no mint mark at all. Well, it's a combination of rarity and collector demand. You see, the 1968 no mint mark penny wasn't produced in massive quantities, so the ones that did make it into circulation today are far and few between. As time went on, collectors started to realize just how rare these coins were, and that's when their value started to skyrocket. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, okay, that's cool, but how do I even spot one of these bad boys? Let me tell you, it's actually pretty simple. When you're going through your change or scanning through your coin collection, the first thing to check is the date. If it's 1968, you're already halfway there. Now, flip the coin over. If you don't see a mint mark on the reverse side under the words E pluribus unum, then congratulations, you might have a 1968 no mint mark penny. But wait, there's more to it. You want to make sure the coin is in good condition, too. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins in near mint or mint condition can fetch upwards of $1.7 million, while ones in less than perfect shape are still worth quite a bit, just not the jackpot, and that's where things get interesting. See, I have a little personal story that connects to this. A few years ago, I was visiting my uncle, great guy, but he's one of those people who just throws his change into a jar at the end of the day. You know the type, right? The, I'll sort this out later, kinda guy. Well, I was rummaging through his coin jar, just out of curiosity, when I spotted a 1968 penny sitting right at the top. I didn't think much of it at first, but then something clicked. I remembered reading about those no mint mark pennies and thought, what if this is one of them? So, I grabbed my magnifying glass, because let's be honest, we all look a little ridiculous squinting at coins, don't we, and checked the back of the coin. Nothing. No mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Was this the one? I had to take it to a coin expert for confirmation, and to my shock, yep, it was a 1968 no mint mark penny. Now, I wasn't going to get $1.7 million for it, mine was a bit worn, but it was still a valuable find. That little penny turned out to be worth a few $1,000s, and it was a nice reminder that sometimes, treasure isn't as far away as you think, it's just sitting in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. Now, not everyone has that kind of luck. But that's why I'm here talking to you today, to make sure you know what to look for and how to spot these rare finds. Because even if you don't have a $1.7 million penny lying around, you never know what could turn up in your spare change. And speaking of spare change, if you've ever thought about getting serious about coin collecting, now is the perfect time. Start checking your coins regularly, get a good magnifying glass, and get familiar with the markings. You never know, your next trip to the coin jar could be your big break. Alright, coin collectors, we've covered a lot today. The 1968 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a true gem in the world of rare coins, and while it might seem like a long shot, remember that these things happen. It's all about keeping your eyes peeled and knowing what to look for. And hey, if you do find one, or even if you just stumble across a few other rare coins, don't forget to keep them safe and take them to a professional for an appraisal. It could be worth way more than you think, but that's all for today. If you want more tips, tricks, and strategies for finding valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on all the coin-related goodness coming your way. Have you ever thought a penny might actually be worth a fortune? I know, it sounds like a crazy thought. After all, they're just pennies, right? Well, not all pennies are created equal. Some are worth thousands, and believe it or not, one specific 1984 D. Abraham Lincoln penny can be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. It's not some rare golden penny from a lost civilization or a mistake that should have never been minted. It's just a regular penny that's older than you might think, but if you have the right one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, if you're like me and you've got a jar of change sitting around collecting dust, you might want to listen up. Before we dive in, let me share a little story. You ever been the guy who thinks he's got something valuable, only to find out it's just a bunch of, well, not so valuable stuff? I remember when I first got into coin collecting. I was so excited about my stash of pennies, thinking I had the next big thing. Then I Googled them. Turns out, I had a bunch of 1982s that were just, well, pennies. Let's just say I had to laugh at myself. But don't worry, there's a twist to this story. Stick around, because this 1984 D penny might just be your ticket to the kind of treasure you thought was reserved for pirates and treasure hunters. Alright, let's get into it. The 1984 D penny might seem like one of those coins you just flip into a jar without thinking twice. But if you've got one in your collection, you could be holding a gem that could make you a small fortune. First things first, what is the 1984 D Abraham Lincoln penny? It's one of the many pennies minted in the United States, but the D stands for Denver, where it was produced. Every year, the U.S. Mint churns out billions of pennies, but only a tiny fraction of them turn out to be valuable. The 1984 D, in particular, is known for a unique set of characteristics that make it so sought after by collectors. So, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, like many rare coins, it comes down to something called minting errors. Sometimes, the mint accidentally produces a coin with defects that make it stand out. In the case of the 1984 D penny, there are certain varieties that have unique characteristics that can increase the value exponentially. Now, you might be wondering, how can a mistake like that be worth $1.8 million? Well, this is where things get interesting. The primary reason the 1984 D penny is so valuable is because of a rare error known as a misaligned die. This happens when the metal dies used to stamp the design on the coin are not properly aligned. The result is a penny that looks like it's been stamped at a funny angle, giving it a slightly off-center look. It's like having a Picasso version of a penny, unique and highly collectible. These misaligned die pennies are extremely rare, and if you find one in good condition, you could have something worth up to $1.8 million. Not too shabby for a coin that only cost you 1 cent back in 1984. How do I know if I've got one of these $1 million misaligned die pennies? Good question. And here's the thing, you don't need a magnifying glass or a microscope to tell. If the coin looks like it was stamped a little off-center, there's a good chance it could be one of these rare varieties. A misaligned die will show noticeable signs of the error, like an uneven border or a shift in the design. Of course, it's not just the misalignment that matters. The coin's condition plays a huge role in its value. If your penny is in mint condition, meaning it has very little wear or damage, then you're sitting pretty. The more wear a coin has, the less it's worth. So, make sure to check for any significant scratches or other signs of damage. Let's talk about how likely it is that you'll actually find one of these pennies in your spare change. Well, to be honest, it's rare. But don't give up hope. Sometimes, these coins are hiding in plain sight. I've found some decent coins in my change, and who knows, one of these days, I might stumble upon a 1984 D penny that's worth a fortune. And you might too. The next time you're getting your change back, take a second to glance over the pennies you're handed. It's that easy. You don't need to carry around an expert's knowledge of coin collecting, just take a look at the year, check for misalignment, and if it looks off, hold on to it. I remember the first time I thought I had found something valuable in my pocket change. It wasn't a 1984 D penny, but it was a 1955 penny, which has a pretty famous error, the double die variety. I got super excited and immediately showed it to everyone. I mean, who wouldn't be hyped about finding a potentially rare coin? I was ready to retire early with that thing. But, alas, after closer inspection, I realized it was just a normal 1955 penny. But that experience stuck with me, and it fueled my passion for coin hunting. So, if you find a 1984 D penny that looks a little off, don't just toss it into the jar without a second thought. You could be holding a gem.so. Here's the deal. The 1984 D Abraham Lincoln penny is worth a lot more than just its face value. If you find one with a misaligned die, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While these pennies are rare, they're definitely out there, and you might just be lucky enough to find one. If you're serious about collecting coins or just love the thrill of the hunt, make sure to keep an eye out for these misaligned die pennies. It's all about being vigilant and checking your change. And hey, even if you don't find a $1.8 million penny, at least you'll know what to look for next time. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a tip on coins worth money. We've got tons more strategies to help you turn pocket change into cold, hard cash. So, what are you waiting for? Start hunting for those rare pennies today. You never know when the next one will turn up.